Kzjo Channel 22 is a MyNetwork TV-affiliated television station located in Seattle, Washington, USA. The station is owned by the Tribune Broadcasting subsidiary of the Tribune Media Company, as part of a duopoly with Tacoma-licensed Fox affiliate KCPQ. The two stations share studio facilities on Westlake Avenue in Seattle's Westlake neighborhood, and KZJO's transmitter is located near the Capitol Hill section of Seattle. The station can be viewed on Channel 10 on most cable systems in Western Washington, including Wave Broadband. The station operates two UHF translators, and KZJO rebroadcasts KCPQ's programming on its second digital sub-channel in widescreen standard definition to provide that station to areas in the eastern portion of the Seattle market that receive weak signal coverage from KCPQ's Bremerton transmitter. History. The station began broadcasting as KTZZ-TV on June 22, 1985. The call letters stood for Television 22, the Z's closely resembling numeral 2S. At the time there was a hole in the market for cartoons and sitcoms. While KSDW was running such programming, KCPQ counter-programmed with more adult fare like dramas, game shows, and movies. As such, KTZZ signed on with a lineup of classic off-network sitcoms, westerns, cartoons, movies, and dramas. Initially the station was profitable under the ownership of Alden Television, Inc. Originally, to keep people from changing channels, the station broadcast only its station identification, no commercials between the closing credits of one show and the opening credits of the next show. One Christmas season, as snow fell in the Puget Sound area, viewers were treated to a gag in which someone pretending to be a janitor takes control of the station for a few moments to deliver the news, which was mostly a fake weather forecast which began, "The weather outside is frightful, but inside it's quite delightful. As long as I've got no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow." KTZZ began with a very promising start with fairly strong syndicated shows. A couple years later, the station was sold to Dudley Broadcasting. By 1988, KCPQ and KSDW had strong lineups, including much of the children's programming available. KTZZ was losing ground and unable to acquire strong off-network syndicated shows. With KCPQ now in the kids' business, the best cartoons were now airing on KSDW and KCPQ, leaving KTZZ with leftovers. KTZZ was also the home, for several years, of the eclectic Seattle talk show The Spud Goodman Show. Producing the weekly interview, music, feature show was an ambitious undertaking for a small station, and the program relied heavily on a large staff of volunteers. The programming costs became too high for KTZZ. As a result, KTZZ began airing CBS shows preempted by KIRO-TV, along with paid programming and brokered shows. It still ran some conventional syndicated product, but they were essentially programs that no other stations wanted. In January 1995, KTZZ affiliated with the WB television network. The WB had initially signed KSDW in 1993 as its Seattle affiliate. However, that station's owner, Gaylord Broadcasting, backed out of the deal a year later to affiliate with CBS. KTZZ picked up syndicated cartoons formerly on KSDW in 1995, added more off-network sitcoms and moved away from the brokered format. As it began airing programming from the WB, KTZZ was helped in part by the fact that KCPQ was moving towards news and more first-run syndicated talk. courtroom, and drama shows. Dudley Communications sold KTZZ, along with sister station WXMI in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to Emmis Communications in 1998. The two stations were then promptly dealt to Tribune Broadcasting in exchange for WQCD in New York City. Tribune changed the station's call letters to KTWB-TV on April 26, 1999. After Tribune acquired KCPQ in early 1999, KTWB's license was transferred to a trustee in the short term until the FCC's approval of television duopolies later that year, though Tribune managed and operated the station during this period via a local marketing agreement. In 2004, KTWB revised its on-air brand from WB22 to Seattle's WB as part of a group-wide branding effort. My Network TV affiliation on January 24, 2006, Time Warner announced that the company would merge the operations of the WB with CBS Corporation's UPN, to form a joint venture called the CW Television Network. The network signed a 10-year affiliation agreement with Tribune Broadcasting for 13 of the 16 WB affiliates that the company owned at the time. KTWB was one of the 3 Tribune stations passed over for an affiliation as CBS-owned UPN affiliate KSTW was chosen as the CW Seattle-Tacoma charter station. KTWB was slated to revert to an independent station, but on May 15, 2006, Tribune announced that it would affiliate Channel 22 with My Network TV, a competing network created by a News Corporation that is run by the company's Fox television stations and 20th television units. On July 14, 2006, Channel 22's call letters were officially changed to KMYQ to reflect its new affiliation, and the station's brand name was changed to MYQ Squared on August 7, 2006. On March 31, 2008, KMYQ became just the second My Network TV affiliate in the Pacific time zone to utilize an early prime time schedule from 7 to 9 p.m. On September 13, 2010, the station moved its My Network TV programming to 11 p.m. KMYQ changed its call letters to KZJO and rebranded as JOE-TV during Tribune's private equity ownership era. The branding remains, though the casual elements of it have been completely played down. On September 19, 2011, the station moved My Network TV programming yet again, this time back 1 hour to 12 a.m. As of the 2015-16 season, it airs even later, from 1 a.m.-3 a.m., and is rarely promoted on air, if at all, to the point that the station's website says erroneously it dropped the network. Though this is not the case and My Network TV continues to air in that latter time slot. KMYQ KZJO aired Monday Night Football games featuring the Seattle Seahawks from 2006 to 2012, when Bello outbid Tribune for rights to the MNF and NFL Network Thursday Night Football Seahawks games and placed them on Kong. Digital television, digital channels, analog to digital conversion. KZJO shut down its analog signal over UHF Channel 22 on June 12, 2009, as part of the mandatory federally mandated transition from analog to digital television. The station's digital signal remained on its pre-transition UHF Channel 25, using PSIP to display KZJO's virtual channel as 22 on digital television receivers. Programming. Syndicated programming featured on the station includes The Simpsons, Community, Divorce Court, and 2.5 Men. Newscasts. On September 16, 1991, KTZZ-TV launched at 10 p.m. newscast produced by Kzjo-TV. The newscast was joined on April 19, 1993 by a simulcast of the 5 to 7 a.m. portion of Kzjo AM/FM's morning show. Both programs were dropped later that year. On March 31, 2008, KMYQ began airing a KCPQ-produced 9 p.m. newscast Monday through Sunday. Translators. Kzjo is rebroadcast on the following translator stations.